Good morning, my loves. Welcome back. So here we are, another Sunday, another weekly forecast, and well, we are in the middle, quite literally in the middle of eclipse season. We are between eclipses. We've just experienced the lovely Pisces lunar eclipse last week, and next week, not this week, but next week, we are going to be in for another eclipse. And in between, we are dealing with a lot. A lot is coming up within us, probably also around us in our external environment, that we have to realign moving forward. Because remember, the eclipses deal with the nodes, right? And the nodes move us from the past to the future. And when we talk from the past to the future, obviously, we can have a long conversation about what that means, what the past means, what the future means, and what it means to actually be in the now. But that would stretch this video too far. So let's come back to this week. It's an interesting week. Besides, all the eclipse energy going on, there is a lot of other stuff happening. We have mainly beautiful aspects, I have to say. Really, really harmonious aspects this week. A few oppositions here and there, but mainly very beautiful alignment aspects. So I hope you get to really tap into this energy and use it and utilize it to realign whatever needs to be realigned in your life. Now, let's start with Monday, the 23rd. This is Venus. Here we have Venus move into Scorpio, and Venus in Scorpio is, she can feel a little unsafe here, because the energy of Scorpio runs deep, right? It's the natural place of Pluto and Mars, and Venus, lovely, delicate little Venus. She looks around in Scorpio, hoping no one is coming after her. She really is looking for protection here, and it is not easy to come by. So what does Venus do here very often? She often goes into manipulation mode. This can manifest in different ways, right? Like this manipulation, right? She's trying to keep safe, to stay safe. And that's why Venus in Scorpio is not an easy Venus. This energy doesn't feel easy. We don't feel easy. We often also just like to stay in the background and look what's happening. We're staying in the dark because we don't really want to be seen. We will probably also work on deeper layers of our self-worth, where we, it's an ongoing process in life, right? Self-worth, values. In Scorpio, Venus really can go deeper and work on those deeper layers. But she needs to be careful and needs to also be honest with herself and understand when she is going into manipulation mode in her relationships with herself. Self-manipulation is a thing, specifically with Venus in Scorpio. So be careful here to really allow yourself to work on deeper layers. And that stuff that comes up that you don't like, you don't really want to see, look at it. Because it's actually not that scary. Once you actually face it, you realize, wait a minute, that is actually not that bad. But as long as you keep it in the dark, it's like that boogeyman that you don't want to deal with. Bring it out into the light. Again, this is, it's not an easy process. Venus in Scorpio, not an easy Venus to deal with. Then on the 24th, we have Mercury trine Uranus, and Mercury is probably the biggest player, by the way, this week. So I think we will have a lot of conversations this week. Also a lot of reminiscing, overthinking, dissecting, taking things apart, because Mercury is still in Virgo, right? And that's what Mercury loves doing in Virgo. Dissecting things, taking them apart, really looking at the details. What did you miss? What haven't you looked at yet? And these trines are really helpful because they help us connect the dots. Where do you still have to connect the dots? Maybe a Mercury trine Uranus could be a helpful conversation, a tip that you get from someone. You hear something and you're like, ah, I get it now. That's what I was missing. Thank you very much. Sometimes it might just be a word someone says and you're like, wait, what? What did you just say? And you connect the dots. I think that's one of those days. Then the next day, the 25th, we have Mercury trining Pluto and opposing Neptune. Now, I love this one. Trining Pluto is understanding deeper layers, right? That's literally how I would translate this aspect. And then the opposition to Neptune is facing the illusion. You know, where can you now let go of that illusion? And where can you connect to yourself, to life in a way where you are actually taking steps into making your dreams a reality instead of just staying in illusionary state. Then on the 26th, Mercury is moving into Libra. And Mercury in Libra is not as strong as Mercury in Virgo. Doesn't mean Mercury is not getting anything done, but Mercury in Libra is more diplomatic, right? It's more like, okay, I understand your side. I actually think this is a beautiful time to continue the conversation, right? Because we are more open to see the other's point of view and integrate it and find the balance between my perspective and your perspective. How can we find alignment, right? It doesn't mean I have to agree with everything you say, but just accepting that that's your opinion might actually be helpful to further the relationship, to grow the relationship. Then on the 29th, a lot going on the 29th, we have the Sun conjunct the nodes, well, the South node opposing the North node. Mercury also conjunct the South node opposing the North node. And this, I think this is where we really realize where we are still in the past, where we are still reliving something that we've been conditioned with or by, right? We've been conditioned a certain way and we keep tapping into it. And we become really conscious of that now. With the sun shining a light on it, Mercury being there as well, the thinking mind, we are realizing, I'm still there. I'm still doing this. I'm doing this. I've been doing this unconsciously. I need to step out of it in order to move to the North node. But this stepping out of it is not going to be easy. It takes a conscious decision and it takes determination. You gotta be strong. This is an aspect that it's really asking for your strength. Then on the same day, we have Mars trining Saturn and Jupiter sextiling Chiron. I think it is very helpful energy, specifically when it comes to what I just talked about, with the nodes, with the stepping out of your conditioning. Mars and Saturn in a trine is super productive. It's a very productive energy because these two are action-oriented, right? And they want to move things forward. And they are on the same page, which, is not often the case, but they are on the same page here, right? However, they're both in water sign. We have to remember they're both in water signs. And they are not the strongest in a water sign. Doesn't mean they can't move things forward, but they're not, it's not like Mars in Aries, like, where it's like, okay, let's go, let's do it. No, Mars is in Cancer. Mars here is more, the idea here is more like, okay, how do I protect myself and my loved ones? How do I protect what I love? And then Saturn in Pisces is like, how do I, move towards my dreams? How do I make my dreams a reality? Well, how do you? And actually with that, I want to leave you. Think about this. All right, my loves, this was it for today. I wish you a beautiful week. If you have any particular questions about any of the aspects we just talked about, feel free to comment below. If you want a personal reading, click on the link in the description box. And anything else, feel free to ask. I wish you a beautiful week and I will see you in the next video.